Now at 6, overwhelming loss and heartbreak.
He took them from me, my friends, my people who felt like my home.
As even the judge tears up before sentencing their killer to 4 consecutive terms of life in prison.
And first responders share how they handle fires with pets inside.
We will get there and we will search for any pets that are in there.
While a family copes with the loss of its dog. Plus,
we've got to focus on the urgent need ahead of us, which is transportation.
Governor Kotek breaks down a slimmed-down transportation plan. So will she have the votes to pass it?
And later, Uber rolls out a new option for women.
You would not believe how many women tell me when they get in the car, like, oh, I'm so glad you're my driver.
Why some say it's about safety, and others call it unfair.
Good evening, everyone. Let's get right to breaking news and yet another wildfire burning in Klickitat County, Washington. The Brewer Road Fire, as it's called, is burning to the northeast of the Burdoin Fire. So far, there are level 3 go now evacuations in the communities of Klickitat and Wakayakas.
So take a look at this map showing the evacuation area. We'll be heading to it in just a moment. There is a large evacuation area in red. Klickitat County Emergency Management says Highway 142 is open in both directions for evacuations. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Meanwhile, some 10 miles to the southwest as the crow flies, crews are making some progress on the Burdoin fire that's burning in the hills and mountains between Bingen and Lisle. It is now 5% contained at last check, though officials say evacuations could last another week.
Firefighters say they've built what they call defensible space around homes. Nearly 11,000 acres have burned. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson plans to visit tomorrow, and we will stream his 10:30 a.m. news conference on KGW+.
How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time.
Heartbreaking questions from the sister of Kaylee Gonzalez. Just one of many emotional moments in court today as Brian Koberger was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole after he pleaded guilty to the 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students, including Gonzalez, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin.
Investigators also spoke in court, sharing new insight into how they built the case. Investigators confirming all 4 victims were killed with a knife. That weapon still missing, along with the clothes Koberger wore that night. They say he wiped most of his digital devices, and despite months of investigation, they found no motive or connection to the victims. They did say it is clear Koberger targeted the home on King Road.
Moscow police also released redacted case files today, though they don't answer the question so many want answered, which is why. Judge Stephen Hippler spoke directly to that before delivering Koberger's sentence.
I share the desire expressed by others to understand the why. But upon reflection, it seems to me, and this is just my own opinion, that by continuing to focus on why, we continue to give Mr. Koberger relevance. We give him agency and we give him power.
Those newly unsealed documents do, however, give some insight into Koberger's behavior after he was arrested.
Police interviewed a Leda County jail inmate who was in the cell next to Koberger's. He called him, quote, intelligent and polite for the most part, but then said Koberger quickly became annoying because of some of his habits, saying he would, quote, wash his hands dozens of times a day and spend 45 minutes to an hour in the shower. He also mentioned Koberger would be awake almost all night.
Detectives asked if the inmate, quote, Koberger ever mentioned anything about his crimes. A man saying Koberger did not mention the murders. Today, Koberger chose not to speak and showed no emotion, prompting someone in the gallery to shout "coward" at him. We have much more from today, including the victims' families' full statements, so important, available anytime on our YouTube channel or on our streaming TV app, that is KGW+.
Now to a terrifying wake-up call for a North Portland family after an early morning fire left their home damaged and their pets in danger. Celine Stevens is live outside Fire Station 3 in Northwest Portland with more on what happened. Celine.
Christine, yeah, so fire crews were racing to save those several dogs that were trapped inside, even using special equipment to resuscitate 3 of them. Unfortunately, tonight, 1 dog is dead and the rest are lucky to be alive.
It was smoke inhalation. Yeah, there was a very thick smoke in the house, and unfortunately these dogs were exposed to it and they couldn't get out.
Around 6 early Wednesday morning, Portland Fire and Rescue responded to a house fire in Portland's Portsmouth neighborhood. There, they found 3 people standing outside and a large amount of smoke coming out the home.
Definitely the origin was in the kitchen, and the investigator believes that it may have been a stove. The stove was inadvertently turned on, but we can't be 100% sure of that.
7 dogs still trapped inside. 3 dogs made it out fine, but another 3 had to be resuscitated and another died.
So we have specialized pet oxygen masks that we use, and we have 3 different sizes. On every battalion chief's car, we have 3 pet oxygen masks. One of the battalion chiefs from this morning told me it was the first time in his career that he's seen all 3 of the masks used simultaneously.
While the fire was quickly put out, the house faced extensive damage, and the American Red Cross has stepped in.
We also know that losing a pet that's a lot of grief around that, and so we want to make sure that we're offering mental health help as well. So we have disaster mental health volunteers who can call people who have just lost a pet and help them work through their feelings.
The Red Cross says it's vital to be prepared for a fire.
Your first line of defense is being prepared, and so include your pets in your family plan to escape your house. Think about how you want to take them. If there's a fire in your house, how you want to take them and make sure that they're safe.
And if you ever are in that situation, let officials do the work to try and save your pet.
Once you're out of the house, do not go back in for any reason. We will get there and we will search for any pets that are in there. But the products combustion these days of plastics are so toxic that one breath can make you unconscious.
According to Portland Fire and Rescue, 1 person was taken to the hospital this morning with non-life-threatening smoke inhalation. No firefighters were injured in this house fire. Back to you.
Yeah, so important to make a plan. Thank you, Celine. Developing this evening, we are learning more information about Oregon Governor Tina Kotek's efforts to pass a slimmed-down transportation bill. The effort, of course, to avoid hundreds of layoffs as lawmakers plan to return to Salem for a special session.
Let's bring in John Adams live in downtown Portland. So, John, what is the plan now?
Yeah, David and Christine, the governor said today she wants to raise Oregon's gas tax and increase the price to register and title vehicles here in the state, raising the cost for folks here in Oregon. Oregon's 2025 legislative session ended with lawmakers failing to pass a $12 billion transportation package. Even with a supermajority in both chambers, Democrats couldn't get it across the finish line. Since then, ODOT initiated layoffs and paused some projects.
Oregonians are expecting our elected leaders in the legislature to deliver the adequate and stable funding that is necessary for ODOT and other transportation needs right now across the state.
The special session will start in late August, and on Wednesday morning, the governor laid out her plan to fund ODOT. It would include a 6-cent increase in the state's gas tax, a $42 increase in vehicle registration fees, a title fee increase of $139, and an additional $30 fee for electric vehicles.
Taken together, these dollars will cover the ODOT budget in order to maintain basic services for Oregonians and prevent the layoffs of workers who provided basic services.
Republicans have pushed back on new taxes, saying the state should use money from the emergency reserve.
There continue to be options available to the governor and to the legislature to protect jobs, protect boots on the ground, and not raise taxes on Oregonians. We don't even need a special session for it.
According to the governor, the increases will also cover money sent to Oregon cities to help pay for local transportation departments. Earlier this summer, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson said PBOT would have to eliminate 60 positions if the city loses its money from the state. In a statement sent to KGW, the mayor's office applauded the governor's decision to call a special session, but didn't provide any additional details about layoffs within the bureau. In Wednesday's briefing, Kotek said she's confident this will pass because it just focuses on funding ODOT.
I've been very clear with people. This isn't a free-for-all for new things. We've got to focus on the urgent need ahead of us, which is transportation.
And we asked House Republican leader Christine Drazen if she's hopeful that Republicans and Democrats could reach a compromise.
Taxes are not the only solution right now. They just aren't. And so we continue to reach out. My conversation yesterday with the governor was to continue to encourage her to take a different path. And we will continue to reach out and encourage them to work with us. But so far, they have declined.
Well, the governor also said on Tuesday that this will delay layoffs at ODOT for 45 days. They were originally scheduled for early August, and they will now be mid-September unless lawmakers can save those jobs during the special session. David, Christine, back to you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on the Friday of Labor Day weekend. Thanks, John. You know, and speaking of that failed transportation bill last month, in your headlines tonight, TriMet says it plans to start slashing service this November. That includes plans to reduce bus frequency, cut entire routes, and scale back max service. These phased-in cuts, along with spending reductions, close part of a $300 million budget cap. TriMet also plans to hike fares in 2028 and expects more state funding, though cautions if that revenue falls short, deeper cuts could follow. We'll have a breakdown and new reaction from riders tonight on KGW News at 11.
On the ground, you're under arrest.
We are seeing new video from Vancouver police showing the arrest of a man accused of raping a 12-year-old girl. That man, 24-year-old Sulaiman Abdul Hadi, after they say he gave the girl alcohol, then sexually assaulted her. Police say he's a registered sex offender who was being monitored via GPS and was restricted from interacting with minors. Police now say he may have other victims, potentially 11 to 17-year-old girls. Contact Vancouver Police if you know anything.
And in Clackamas County, sheriff's deputies say they have busted a suspect who scammed a local interior supply store out of thousands of dollars in tools. They say 40-year-old Zachary DeLuzio posed as a worker from a drywall company to buy the tools and then used that company's account number to make the purchase. Then they say he posted the tools for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Detectives set up a meetup to buy the stolen items and arrested DeLuzio. Investigators say they think he may have targeted other businesses.